Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Welcome to Hangover Monday, because Lord knows we all got a hangover this morning. My quarterback gone for the season, and there ain't nothing we can do about it. I did talk to Dak's uncle, Philip. I did talk to his uncle Philip this morning, and he said that the surgery went well. The doctors are happy about the prognosis, and that Dak Prescott is a warrior, and he'll be back. Which is great news for his future. Right now, I get accused of being a Dak Prescott fan and not a Dallas Cowboy fan. But here's the reality. I've been a Dak Prescott fan since 2016. I've been a Dallas Cowboy fan for all my life. And I've seen quarterbacks come and quarterbacks go. It's the nature of the beast. There's always somebody else that's going to come in there and take your place. It doesn't matter if you're Roger Staubach, Danny White, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo. It's the nature of the beast. The football chain continues to go on. But the one consistent there is that star on the helmet. So we got to rally behind Andy Dalton and Mike McCarthy. Now, for Mike McCarthy and for Mike Nolan, Mike and Mike show, they're now playing with house money. If you think back to the early years of Jason Garrett going 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, where Jason Garrett, they took the play calling away from him. He was truly on the hot seat going into 2014. And in 2014, we had 12-4, was the catch, no catch away from going to the NFC Championship game. And the next year, of course, the Cowboys lost Tony Romo in week 4. Or was it week 3? Anyway, we lost Tony Romo. We ended up being 4-12. I'm getting old. And that year ended up being basically the house money year. You weren't expected to win without Tony Romo. So he got another year, another opportunity, regardless of what happened on the field. For me, I looked at it as you had Brandon Wheaton in your system for a year and a half, and you couldn't coach him to one victory. You brought in a journeyman quarterback in Matt Castle, who had been a Pro Bowler and had won games. And you could not coach the team to one victory without Tony Romo. To me, I would have looked at that and said, we're done. You had one winning year. You lose the franchise quarterback and can't win a game without, you win one game without him. Well, really, Santana Moss, excuse me, not Santana Moss. Deshaun Jackson won that game for us, running backwards on a punt and getting tackled and fumbling the ball at the 6-yard line. He won the game for the Cowboys, not Matt Castle. So you weren't expected to do anything once Tony Romo got hurt. And in fact, he was still playing with house money in 2016 because Tony Romo got hurt again. You weren't expected to do anything without that. Now, for the Cowboys, let's be 100% honest right now. When we look at this team, there's no way in the world you look at the team that we had on the field and say, yeah, this is a playoff team. Our defense, we still gave up 34 points to the worst offense in the NFL, the Giants. Our defense is atrocious. We had some signs of life yesterday, and I don't put all this on the defense because we did have one score on a takeaway, and we were in bad position on another one. But the reality is there are a lot of problems with this team. So this is Mike McCarthy's, I won't be fired. I've got a built-in excuse for what happens between coronavirus, between losing Dak Prescott, between losing both of your tackles. Now, that's not to say that you're tanking. You're not. You're still trying to win. But now you have the freedom of saying, if I try something different and it fails, it's okay, because now it's an experimental season for us. We got Andy Dalton. We can really find out, do we keep him at the end of the season? And lo and behold, let's be 100% real here with football. Football is a game about money. A game about money. And if you spend too much money here or too much money there, then you don't have the money to spend over here where you may need it. And currently our Dallas Cowboys, I think only about a third of the money actually goes to the defense. And you could look and say some of that money may be misspent where it's been spent. But if you have more money that you can spend on the defense, well, then you can do some other things. And so maybe you look at it differently. Maybe you look at the season goes downhill, we get a higher draft pick, and maybe, with those 10 draft picks that we have, 10 draft picks that we have, because it's pet story picks, the worse you do in the season, the higher all of those picks are. If you're a top 5 pick in the NFL, it's great for the first round. But that means now that second round pick is almost like a first round pick. That means that third round pick is almost like a third round pick, a second round pick, and so on and so on and so on. That means all of a sudden you can reload the team, and you look at this and say, okay, we're trying to run the 3-4 defense, but we don't have 3-4 personnel. But now we've got all these picks and extra money to get personnel that we need to work on this. That's the way you kind of look at the season. That it's not so much about the season, because this season may not be what you think. And before you Dallas Cowboy haters or say that I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm not saying tank. I am not saying tank. But let's face reality of what we are right here. You've lost both of your tackles. Both of your tackles. Your Pro Bowl center retired. Your center who came in as the takeover is on injured reserve. You got a rookie playing at center. You've got an undrafted rookie playing at tackle. Your offensive line is in shambles. You got great wide receivers. Your defense is beat up and demoralized and looking for an identity. The prospects for this season aren't real good. So now, if you're Mike McCarthy, you don't have to worry about, if I have a losing season, I'm going to lose my job. Because, again, you're playing with house money. And this may end up relaxing some people somewhat to go ahead and implement different things. Because now you're building towards the future. Now, let me go back to the Andy Dalton situation. It used to be a code that you didn't lose your position to injury. Well, that shit's out the window. That doesn't exist anymore. Tony Romo found that out. Tony Romo found out because Dak came in and made you realize this guy is young. This guy has led the team. This guy is uninjured. This guy is dirt cheap. Tony, we love you. We appreciate everything you've done for us. But it's reality. It's life in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys do in the future. For all we know, Dak Prescott might not be the quarterback that he's looking for. But that's the reality of football. It is what it is. So I got to get this thing in here, get ready to get it out of here. I got more over here that need to go as well. The work doesn't end. No matter what happens, it just keeps rolling. I'm Mark Holmes, and I want to thank you as always. I'll see you soon.